this could be a trap game, but obviously your team came out strong and it wasn't a problem at all.
Yeah, we talked about that before the game, and there's always that possibility that those things happening. And we said 2 points is 2 points, no matter if we're playing LA, Anaheim, or whoever our opponent is. And the guys this time of the year are probably looking at the standings and trying to build our game and not let up. And they came out pretty good.
And the situation with Kulak, can you tell us?
Yeah, I saw him. Obviously, he'll get looked at again tonight and tomorrow, but he says he feels well, and which is good news for us.
Going on the road trip then?
Yes, he'll be with us.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, Kris. Adam Henriquez fit in really well here. He's got 4 goals since you guys got him. What have you liked about his game, and how do you feel he's kind of meshed in with the group?
There's a lot of things I like about his game. He's part of the second unit power play, which really hasn't had much time or opportunities, but we've used him penalty kill. He's been solid there. And, I bet you half the games are split between being our third line centerman and second line left winger. And right now he's just starting to find a little chemistry with Leon. And, I think when he first got here, it was probably just too safe. And not too often a coach is going to say that about a player. But I think there was more offensive ability and just trying to make some plays. And, he's starting to do that, see the ice a little bit better, and get some opportunities. And nice to see him. He has been scoring goals.
When he got here, you knew you were getting a talented player, but did you know how you were going to utilize him, or was that kind of find the role for him?
Well, it's going to fluctuate depending on what we need, who we're playing against. We might have injuries. We might need a little more depth in a certain area. But, I think anytime you get a new player, you're not exactly sure what he has to provide and who he's going to play well with. And, as we have spent more time together, we start to understand what we have, and it's been a good fit for us.
And last one for me. At a month into the season, Connor McDavid, he struggled, and he was 113th in the scoring race, and he's now been able to catch the top guys. What have you seen in his game the last 3 or 4 months that he kind of just accelerated and has been able to do what a lot of people didn't think was possible?
Yeah, just never count Connor out or never think that he can't do something. And, he made it very difficult for himself to get to where he is on the scoring right now. But I don't have enough words or time to talk about what Connor can do. And I was thinking about today on the bench, and just I'm amazed. I was amazed when I was watching him in Erie and doing the things he was doing. And I was at junior hockey, and he's doing the same things here in the National Hockey League, and it's amazing.
I know the search for consistency in your lines is something that you probably have been on a little bit here lately. Do you feel like there's a fit that's forming that maybe has a chance to stick a little bit here with this?
I like what we have now. There's certainly going to be different changes to the lineup, and who we're playing against, if we're on the road, there's a lot of factors. But I never liked switching up the lines more than maybe a guy or two. But when you're switching up 4 lines, that's it's not good for the guys and finding chemistry and building their game. And right now I think we've got a pretty good blueprint. There'll be a little alterations, but not very much.
You've mentioned before about the idea of switching lines, whether you're on the road or at home, or is it strictly more matchup related, or is it just like if you have lines that you feel are working, what's the thought process to adjusting when you go out on the road?
There's a lot of things to consider. Probably the biggest thing is who's playing well together, and which lines are going, and which one needs a little spark. Line matchups, if we're on the road, that obviously has something to do with it. And what the other team's doing, whether they're offensive zone face-offs, defensive zone face-offs. There's a lot of things. And now, what kind of team do they have? Is it a speed team? Is it a physical team? There's a lot of things that we consider.
Just wanted to follow up on Derek's last question there about Connor McDavid and kind of where the team has gone since you've been coach. How did you see him kind of galvanize this group? Because obviously there's the on-ice part of him scoring, but there's the rest of the team and him kind of leading the way. How have you seen him kind of galvanize the group in the last few months?
Well, right now everyone's cheering for him and obviously want him to finish atop the scoring lead. But I think what he does for the team is very valuable. Obviously, he wears the captaincy, and a very good reason why he does. Each practice, I don't think there's ever a drill that he's not been 100% for. You see him finishing checks the other night. He was one of our hit leaders against LA, and we talked about getting pucks in deep and establishing a forecheck. Connor does that, even though he probably stick handle through guys. Leads by example, and when you see your captain and your best player and probably the best skilled player in the NHL doing it, you kind of have to follow suit.
Just to ask one more about Troy Stetcher, who's come into the lineup kind of in spots, and how are you seeing his game kind of grow here as he gets a little bit more comfortable with this new team?
Yeah, he's just continuing to get better and better every game, and there's always an adjustment period for any player, and when they come to a new team, it's a new system, new environment, a new coach. There's a lot of things to get used to, and just every game that he's been with us, in the first game, you could tell he was maybe a little bit nervous, a little bit overexcited. The adrenaline's flowing, and not that he had a bad game, but you could tell he was just overexcited. And now he's gotten more familiar, and that's part of his game. He's got a high intensity to his game, but right now he's just familiar with our systems, familiar with the lineup, and has been playing pretty good hockey for us.
Kris, can you speak to Ekholm, 3 points plus 5? Is his offense surprising you a little bit?
No, it doesn't. He's an incredibly smart hockey player. You look at the play that he made on Fogel's goal, making that pass through all that traffic to set that up, and he did that a few times tonight. Didn't lead to breakaways, but advanced the puck very nicely. The goal, you see him pull the puck off the wall, shoot through traffic. He's got a heavy shot, and it's not an outlier. Sometimes players have an unbelievably productive year offensively just because everything lines up and every break goes their way. For me, I just think he's just making those plays. It's not luck.
One last thing. Cece was sick. He's going on the road trip as well?
Yes, I was texting him before the game. He's feeling better. I think it was best that he didn't play. We needed him. Probably could have did it, but he was sick, and give him that day of rest, and we anticipate he'll be playing in St. Louis. Okay.
I was wondering if you could talk a bit about Connor McDavid and Zach Hyman's on-ice chemistry and how much that's meant to the team's success the past few months.
Well, yeah, it means quite a bit. You got a guy that's approaching 100 assists, and you've got a guy that's is over 50 goals for somebody that was probably told he was never going to break 25, 30, or whatever it was. But those two have been together almost every game, every shift they've been together. There's a handful of games that they haven't played together on the same line. And anytime you get your best players being your best players, you have a good recipe for success. And every night they've showed up and played very well. But obviously there's the chemistry of, you got a tremendous playmaker, somebody who's can drive the line and do extraordinary things. But Zach Hyman probably doesn't get enough credit for all the things he does, and whether that's getting in on the forecheck, advancing the puck and not turning it over, and then the finishing ability that everyone's aware of, that he's able to score those goals.